This 16-year-old just ran faster than Usain Bolt did at age 20, and almost nobody saw it coming. His name is Sorato Shimizu, and on a regular Saturday at a high school track meet in Hiroshima, Japan, he did something that shocked the entire athletics world. He ran 100 meters in exactly 10 seconds flat. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's fast, but what's the big deal? Here's why this matters. That time made him the fastest under 18 runner in history. Let me put this into perspective for you. Before Shimizu's run, two athletes shared the under 18 world record. Christian Miller from America and Purapol Bunsan from Thailand both ran 10.06 seconds back in 2023. Shimizu didn't just beat that record, he destroyed it by 0.06 of a second. And here's something even crazier. His time was faster than Usain Bolt's best run when Bolt was 20 years old. Yes, the Usain Bolt. The fastest man who ever lived only managed 10.03 seconds at age 20. But wait, there's more to this story. Shimizu also broke a record that had stood in Japan for 12 long years. The Japanese high school record of 10.01 seconds was set by Yoshihide Kiryu way back in 2013. Kiryu went on to become an Olympic silver medalist in the relay at the 2016 Rio Games. That's the kind of company Shimizu is keeping now. And suddenly, with that one race, this teenager became the 5th fastest Japanese sprinter of all time. Not just among teenagers, among everyone. When Shimizu crossed that finish line, he knew immediately what he had done. He had beaten the second-place runner by almost 0.3 of a second. In sprinting, that's like winning by a mile. After the race, reporters rushed to talk to him, and Shimizu told them something interesting. He said, "I was determined to run under 10 seconds heading into the final. I'm happy to have set a high school record." But here's what makes this story even better. Shimizu isn't your typical sprinter. He stands just 164 centimeters tall. That's only about 5 feet 4 inches. In a sport where height usually helps, Shimizu is proving that size doesn't matter if you have the right technique and determination. So how does someone this young and this small run so fast? Let's break it down. His coach at Seiryo High School, Miki Nishino, explained what makes Shimizu special during a television program. Nishino said that two things really stand out. First, Shimizu is incredibly good at working his upper and lower body together at the same time. Everything moves in perfect sync. Second, his ground contact is extremely precise. When his feet hit the track, he captures the pushback force from the ground perfectly. Nishino added, he rarely misses his contact point. It's amazing. To get this good, Shimizu has been training in a very specific way. He's been working hard to increase the flexibility in his shoulder blades. This might sound strange, but this flexibility helps him coordinate his whole body better when he runs. And it's clearly working. But the technical analysis doesn't stop there. A professor named Shigemori Omori, who teaches sports science at Kanazawa Seiryo University, gave even more insight into what makes Shimizu so fast. Omori isn't just some regular professor either. He used to coach Japan's national athletics team and even competed in the 1984 Olympics himself in the 400-meter hurdles. So he knows what he's talking about. Omori explained that the key to running fast is something called thigh swing speed. Basically, how fast you can swing your thighs forward and backward while running. And according to Omori, Shimizu's swing speed of the thighs is probably the fastest among any Japanese. Now, that's huge. But there's another reason Shimizu is so good. Most sprinters reach their top speed around 60 meters into the race, then they start slowing down a tiny bit toward the end. Shimizu is different. Omori said, Shimizu is the fastest at top speed compared with any other sprinter in Japan. Or he may be in the top 2 alongside Yanagita. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Omori thinks Shimizu could get even faster, much faster. Right now, when Shimizu's foot touches the ground during each stride, it stays on the ground for about 0.08 seconds. If he can reduce that time to just 0.07 seconds, Omori believes Shimizu could run somewhere between 9.6 and 9.8 seconds. Let me repeat that. If everything goes right, this teenager could potentially run times that would put him among the top 3 sprinters in the entire world in 2025. Only 3 people in history have ever run under 9.7 seconds. Usain Bolt, Tyson Gay, and Johan Blake. That's the level we're talking about. So where did this incredible talent come from? Well, athletics actually runs in Shimizu's family. His father was a high jumper in high school and came in 4th place at a national competition in his age group. His mother competed in the 100-meter hurdles at the national level. So Shimizu was basically born to be a runner. But natural talent alone doesn't create records. Shimizu's journey to this moment started a few years ago. Back in 2023, when he was still in junior high school, he won the 200-meter race at the National Junior High School Championship. Then in 2024, his first year of high school, something amazing happened. He ran 10.26 seconds. That was almost half a second faster than his personal best from the year before, which was 10.75 seconds. That improvement set a new national record for his age group. The previous record? It was held by Abdul Hakim Sani Brown, who is the only Japanese athlete ever to qualify for a 100-meter final at the World Athletics Championships. This year, 2025, Shimizu found another gear. In April, he traveled to Saudi Arabia for the Asian U-18 Athletics Championships and won the gold medal in the 100 meters with a time of 10.38 seconds. Then in July, he improved to 10.19 seconds. And just a little while later that same month, he ran the historic 10.00 seconds that broke the world record. With that performance, Shimizu did something important. He met the minimum qualification standard for the World Athletics Championships, which were being held in Tokyo, Japan. The standard was exactly 10 seconds, and Shimizu hit it perfectly. But here's where things got tricky. Making the Japanese team for the individual 100-meter race was going to be nearly impossible. Why? Because Japan already had 3 incredible sprinters who had basically locked up those spots. Yoshihide Kiryu, the guy whose high school record Shimizu just broke, Yuhi Mori, and Abdul Hakim Sani Brown, who has a personal best of 9.96 seconds. Shimizu didn't make the 100-meter final at the Japan Athletics Championships in June, which served as the trials for the World Championships. Some people thought that was it for him. The haters started saying he was too young, too small, not ready for the big stage. But they were about to be proven very wrong. Japan's 4x100-meter relay team needed strong runners, and Shimizu's 10-second performance couldn't be ignored. Eventually, the Japan Association of Athletics Federations made their decision. Shimizu was named to the relay team for the World Championships. Kazuhiko Yamazaki, who is the chairman of high performance at the JF, held a news conference on September 2nd to announce the team. When talking about Shimizu, Yamazaki said, "He ran at 10.00 seconds even though he is a high schooler. I have high expectations for him as a potential X-factor for the relay team." This was huge for Shimizu and for Japan. The relay team was absolutely stacked. Besides Shimizu, it included Sani Brown, Kiryu, who just ran 9.99 seconds for the first time in 8 years, and Hiroki Yanagita, another rising star. Both Yanagita and Yuhi Mori had also run 10 seconds flat in 2025.
Away from it, but De Grasse of Canada, look at him on the right-hand side, in the red, but Japan are going to take it, they're going to take it. First qualifying spot, there we go, followed by Canada, then the Netherlands in third. Goodness!
For Shimizu, just making the team was incredible. But what about his future goals? Turns out, this kid is thinking big. Really big. During an open practice session at his high school on August 19th, Shimizu told reporters exactly what he wants to achieve. He said, "I hope I'll be picked for the relay at the World Athletics Championships, which is my immediate goal, so I am preparing for it." A 9-point-something second 100 meters, while still in high school. If Shimizu does that, he won't just be breaking records. He'll be rewriting the entire history book.
Gets tripped up. Wiley gets tripped up. Roisin Willis there in third. Willis now digging deep and moving to the lead. Maggie Congdon is coming on the outside. Willis, Congdon, and Klecker at the end.
No one expected a 21-year-old to make the nation's best look ordinary, but Roisin Willis did exactly that. Her 158.13 run in the women's 800 meters didn't just win gold. It redefined what greatness looks like on the college track. From a high school phenom to a world-class athlete, Roisin Willis has been steadily building toward this kind of explosive breakthrough. Her victory in Eugene wasn't a fluke or a lucky day. It was the latest chapter in a career that's been quietly erupting under the radar until now. Born on August 6, 2004, in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, Roisin comes from a lineage of runners. Her mother, Breda Dennehy Willis, competed in the 2000 Sydney Olympics for Ireland. That competitive fire clearly runs in the family. From an early age, Roisin showed promise on the track, but few could have predicted just how far she would take it. In high school, she wasn't just good, she was rewriting history. Willis still holds the U.S. high school indoor record in the 800 meters. Her outdoor time of 2 hours, 0 minutes, and 78 seconds from 2021 remains the national under-18 record. That same time qualified her for the 2020 U.S. Olympic trials at just 16 years old. Competing against the nation's best, she made it to the semifinals and finished 13th. That's not just impressive, that's unheard of.
Towards Werrow, and it is Willis. Oh, look at this, Willis digging deep, coming all the way through to the line, and she's going to break 2 minutes for the first time in her.
By 2022, she had her sights set globally. At the World U20 Championships in Cali, Colombia, she struck gold, not once but twice. She ran a stunning 1 minute 59.13 seconds in the 800 meters, breaking the championship record, and followed it up with a 51.34 split in the 4x400 meter relay, bringing home another gold. It was the kind of performance that hinted at something bigger on the horizon, and bigger things did come. Roisin chose Stanford for her collegiate career, joining one of the most elite track programs in the country. Her freshman year was nothing short of spectacular. At the 2023 NCAA Indoor Championships, she claimed the 800-meter title with a time of 1 minute 59.93 seconds. That win also set personal meet and facility records. She didn't stop there. She helped Stanford capture the distance medley relay title as well. But her dominance wasn't just indoors. Outdoors, she placed 4th in the 800 meters at the 2023 NCAA Championships. Many saw it as a slight stumble, but for Roisin, it was fuel. She used that offseason to train harder, smarter, and faster, and in 2024, she returned with something to prove. Before the 2025 season even started, she signed an NIL deal with New Balance, an early sign that the athletic world knew she was on the verge of something special. That endorsement wasn't just about marketability, it was a nod to her rising status as one of America's top middle-distance runners. Then came the 2025 NCAA Outdoor Championships in Eugene. The pressure was on and all eyes were watching, but Roisin didn't just win, she made history. Her time of 1 minute 58.13 seconds not only won her the national title, but also broke the championship record and launched her to 3rd on the all-time NCAA list, behind only legends Athing Mu and Michaela Rose. And this wasn't an easy field. North Carolina's Michaela Page and Duke's Lauren Tolbert, both heavy contenders, finished in the top 5, but none of them could catch Roisin. The gap she created was clear. This wasn't just a race, it was a statement. With that win, she also became the 2nd consecutive Stanford athlete to win the NCAA 800-meter title and the first ACC student athlete to do so since 2021. Stanford's women's team dominated the standings as well, placing 6th overall, with Roisin leading the charge. But what really set her apart during that race wasn't just her speed, it was her racing strategy. She went out aggressively, clocking a powerful first lap that forced the rest of the field to react. Instead of fading, she sustained the pace, making it nearly impossible for anyone to mount a comeback. It was a classic example of front-running done right, calculated, bold, and perfectly executed. Her performance reignited conversations about the depth of talent in NCAA middle-distance running and brought comparisons to elite runners like Athing Mu, who had previously dominated the event before turning pro. With Roisin's times steadily improving and her confidence on the rise, many began asking, is she next? Just weeks after her NCAA triumph, Roisin entered the 2025 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. In the semifinals, she ran 1 minute 58.40 seconds, and in the final, she sealed the deal with a 1 minute 59.26 seconds, earning the national title. She had officially transitioned from a college star to a national champion. Her dominance didn't go unnoticed. She was selected to represent Team USA at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, and although she didn't advance past the first round, the experience marked another milestone in her young but already accomplished career. The Tokyo meet was eye-opening, not because she faltered, but because it showed her where the global standard truly is. And for someone like Roisin, that's motivation. She's the type of athlete who doesn't back down. If anything, that loss only sharpened her focus. Roisin's rise has been anything but ordinary. What sets her apart isn't just speed, it's poise. It's the ability to deliver when it matters most, and her consistency across different stages, high school, college, national, and international, is rare. She's also shown remarkable versatility. Beyond the 800 meters, she's delivered elite performances in the 400 and 1,000 meter events. Her 1,000-meter time of 2 minutes, 41.53 seconds from 2021 remains one of the fastest ever run by an American teenager. That kind of range is incredibly rare in middle-distance running and makes her a threat in multiple disciplines. Coaches and analysts have praised her technical form, efficient stride, and ability to maintain control under pressure. But if you think this is the peak of her journey, think again. Everything about Roisin Willis points to an athlete who's still climbing. With her unmatched work ethic, elite pedigree, and growing experience on the world stage, she's becoming a serious contender for Olympic glory. What makes Roisin's 2025 NCAA win so electrifying isn't just the time or the record, it's the context. Coming off a fourth-place finish the year before, dealing with the pressure of expectations, and stepping onto the biggest stage with the nation watching, she didn't just show up, she owned it. She turned doubters into believers and pressure into power. In a sport where milliseconds matter, Roisin Willis didn't just beat her competition, she humiliated them. She raced like she knew something the rest of the field didn't. And maybe she did. This wasn't a storybook ending, it was a storybook beginning. Because the most dangerous thing about Roisin Willis, she's just getting started.
Irby. But we have seen her come off with a lot of steam. But if she doesn't have it today, Kendall Ellis will win the heat and establish the time to beat at 50-30.
Kendall Ellis was locked in a bathroom right before the most important race of her life. What happened next left the entire track world speechless. It was June 23rd, 2024, at the U.S. Olympic Trials in Eugene, Oregon. Less than 1 hour before her race, Kendall was stuck inside a porta potty. She was banging on the door and screaming for help. Someone finally got her out, but the damage seemed done. Her nerves were shot. The race was minutes away. But here's where things get crazy. Not only did Kendall run that race, she won it. And she didn't just win, she ran her fastest time in 6 whole years. Then the very next day, she came back and ran even faster to become the national champion and punch her ticket to the Paris Olympics. Nobody saw this coming.
Before the semifinals of my 400 at Olympic trials in Oregon, I went to use the restroom, the porta potty, and the lock got jammed. And I was stuck in there for about 10 minutes, an hour before my race. And so once I was panicking and realizing I did not have a way to get out, I started banging on the door, calling
Kendall
for
had
help.
struggled all season long. She was 28 years old, which is pretty old for a sprinter. Most people thought her best days were behind her. She was known as a relay runner, someone who helped the team but wasn't really a star on her own. But on night of the 23rd of June in Eugene, everything changed. When the gun went off for the women's 400-meter final, Kendall exploded out of the blocks. She powered around the track with a confidence nobody had seen from her in years. As she crossed the finish line, the clock showed 49.46 seconds. It was her second personal best in 2 days. She had just shaved more than a third of a second off her old record. The crowd went wild. Kendall dropped to her knees and covered her face with her hands. After 6 years of waiting, after all the doubts and struggles, she had finally done it. Aaliyah Butler finished second with a time of 49.71 seconds. Alexis Holmes, who was a world champion in the relay, took third place with 49.78 seconds. All 3 women broke 50 seconds, which is a huge deal in the 400 meters, and all 3 of them ran personal bests that day. They were all heading to Paris. But the spotlight belonged to Kendall Ellis. After the race, reporters asked her what she did differently. Her answer was simple but powerful. She said, "It was just replicating what I did yesterday and just doing it better." But the real secret wasn't about her training or her technique. It was something much deeper. Just believing in myself, truly. Kendall explained. The workouts haven't changed, the results in practice haven't changed. But finally, something clicked up here that says, you can do it. You can go out with the best of them, and you can finish better than anyone else. So just really believing and committing to that belief in the very first step. Think about that for a second. Her body was ready all along. Her coach had prepared her perfectly, but her mind was holding her back. Once she truly believed in herself, everything unlocked. This wasn't the first time Kendall had pulled off something amazing. In fact, she had done it before in the most spectacular way possible. 6 years earlier, in 2018, Kendall was running for the University of Southern California in the NCAA championships. It was the 4x400 relay, the final race of the meet. Kendall was running the anchor leg, which means she was the last runner for her team. When she got the baton, USC was in third place. She was so far behind that the TV cameras could barely see her on the screen. The Purdue runner in first place had a massive lead. The TV announcer was already calling the race. "There's no way, unless they drop the baton, Purdue's going to win this," he said. But Kendall didn't hear him. She didn't care what anyone thought. She just ran, and she made up 30 meters in the final stretch. 30 meters! She flew past both runners and won the race for USC. The crowd couldn't believe it. The announcer couldn't believe it. Even Kendall's own teammates were shocked. That race made Kendall famous in the track world. Even today, if you search for greatest track comebacks online, you'll find that video near the top. It's been watched millions of times. Kendall knew something important that day. The Purdue runner was a middle distance specialist, which means she was better at longer races. She didn't have the same speed at the end that Kendall had. "I'm always going to be optimistic about my chances," Kendall said later. "I mean, if I don't believe in me, then who else will?" That incredible comeback helped launch her career. She made several national teams because of her relay skills. At the Tokyo Olympics in 2020, she won a gold medal running in the preliminary rounds of the women's 4x400 relay. She also won a bronze medal in the mixed relay,